Hello everyone, it is I, James the Squirrel, and I am here as always with Nicky.
We are here
Yes.
and we are talking about stuff.
And we are going to be talking about mainly this week Takeover Orlando, which utterly trounced WrestleMania, as per usual.
Well, it was close. Like, I will say that I thoroughly enjoyed this year's WrestleMania,
Yeah,
but
best
Takeover,
WrestleMania in decades, I'd even
since
say.
it was the best one since 30. But at the same
Eh,
time, like, if this were a basketball game, like, the final score would be like 135 to 132. Like, it
eh.
was, it, okay, 129. Like
I'm so,
WrestleMania did very well for itself, but Takeover, you just can't compete with it.
I am sorry, but as far as WrestleManias go,
Hmm.
this because I didn't get to speak in the Haymakers WrestleMania recap thing because I was asleep when all that was into plan,
Whoops.
and literally from you guys going we're gonna do it to actually doing it, completely asleep because of time zones.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're an Aussie.
Yes.
Like at the very least, I got to hear about the plan happen beforehand before I was like, nah, I can't make it.
Yeah, like if I had have heard, literally, it was the difference of you guys started at 7. I woke up at 9 for me, and that's in the
Yeah.
morning. So it's like if I had have had an early morning wake up, I would have made it in time.
Oh well.
Anyway,
Uh,
so
so,
NXT, this
yeah, we're
this takeover. Oh god, that
yeah.
like
This was a really good takeover. I can't say it was the best takeover of all time because I feel like that's
there
either
wasn't
Dallas or
a
Brooklyn.
bad match.
Right, there wasn't a bad match. Like I feel like either Dallas or Brooklyn 1 is still the best takeover of all time,
Oh yeah,
but this is on the podium. This is in the top 3.
yeah. I would say it's a close second. Like it third and second are very close, and so is kind of one. But you can like once you pick one, you kind of know where 2 and 3 are gonna land. And
Mm-hmm.
but this takeover,
Mm. When you get that takeover just right,
I'm totally
when
not stalling to find the
the Wikipedia thing.
yeah.
Okay, well I actually have it up right.
uh, uh,
Uh, and I will go ahead and list off the first thing that happened. Unfortunately, unlike the episodes, I do not have notes for this, so I just kind of have to go off what's in my brainium.
Same.
But
I'm just trying to
the
remember what was first. Oh yes, that match, that
yeah, it
lovely
was the
match.
Sanity. Oh, you already got it up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was this. It was the 8-man tag, Sanity versus Team Dillinger. Now, before the match, uh, No Way Jose got taken out at WrestleMania Access, so they needed a new fourth, and the man for the job. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Yes,
Uh,
and he looked
I will
very
actually.
good in his Orlando Magic shirt.
Eh.
No wait, no, not Orlando Magic. The LA team that's really shit.
Close, but still eh. The Sacramento Kings. They are also in California. It's where Steven Larson is from.
Hey Steve and
And
Larson.
Larson.
Speaking of which, we saw them in the crowd.
Yeah, they popped up, I think, right near the end of the Aleister Black match, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that was
we
neat.
we also saw him. We also saw them on Raw.
I did not see them on Raw.
I
You may have
did.
saw them on Raw. Okay, you saw them on Raw. But anyway, so he comes out in the Sacramento Kings jersey, which I fucking want. I want that Cassius Ono Sacramento Kings jersey. That is fucking money waiting to happen.
Yes.
WWE shop, sell those things.
Speaking of good merch on the WWE shop, oh my god, the goddamn AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Finn Bella shirts that just came out.
Oh, yeah, I like the untouchable one. That's
Yeah,
cool.
the AJ Styles one.
Yeah. So anyway,
Uh,
Cassius comes in, and now it's back to being 4-on-4, and they go for it. It's a fun match. This was basically the first chance we really got to see of Ruby Riott
yep,
in a match,
looked
and
good.
she's I think the best word to use for her is chaotic, because like she was flying all over the place with like a complete
You
reckless,
you
complete.
could say she's a one woman riot.
I will
Eh?
not say that,
Eh?
good sir.
Eh?
I'm the one who does the terrible puns around here. Thank you very much. So
Uh,
yeah, like Riot was just going nuts on Nikki
like
Cross.
I
Like
love
it's
her
hard to go
outfit.
nutser on Nikki Cross than Nikki Cross, but she was doing it.
I would like to state that this is probably the best not 4 man, 8 man tag. Like, I was getting four because there's 4 people in each team.
Yeah,
Anyway,
makes
it
sense.
best 8 man tag that I have seen in a very long time because
I can.
usually they are
Mhm.
chaotic and stupid and the reason that this one is okay because it was chaotic and stupid was because of the attitude of everyone going in.
Yeah, yeah. Like it fit the setting, so
It
I
fit the
can say it
setting and
was
it fit
fun.
the story, so a format
Like
and
there was.
I'm doing it again. I've only been up for like 10 minutes, so I'm doing quite well.
Meanwhile, it's 1 o'clock in the morning over here. Like you're tired because you just woke up. I'm getting tired. Like it's a mess.
I need to make.
So one of my
I'm gonna get coffee after this. Lots and
yeah
lots of caffeine.
yeah. So one of my favorite spots from the match was so Ty is in the ring with I believe Dane, and Ty is looking to set up for the tiebreaker, I believe, and Nikki Cross jumps on his back, and then Ruby Riott slips in and jumps on Dane's back, and yeah. So Nikki Cross looks back over at Ruby and sees her doing that, and she's kind of in a bit of a question: do I keep putting the headlock on Dillinger, or do I go over and rescue my bro?
Mm.
What do I do? It was kind of a fun moment, and eventually, uh, Cross ripped Ruby off of Dane. Uh, Gonna talk about the finish?
You can talk about the finish because I don't remember the finish.
Okay. Well, there was this one spot where, well, first off, like Cassius and Roddy are already out.
Oh wait,
Um,
I remember now. Yeah,
mhm.
Cassius and
Yeah.
Roddy
So,
are already out. So
mhm.
Eric Young and out. Uh,
Before you go into this, let one quick thing. Ruby does a drop or like a missile drop, not a missile drop kick, just a regular drop kick, but it's from the apron, and she lands flat on her back, and that looked like it fucking sucked.
it probably did. So
Okay, now.
yeah, basically everyone else is out on the outside of the ring, and Killian Dane proceeds to absolutely destroy Ty Dillinger.
Hmm.
Then he picks him up and hits him with the move that we all love, the Oscar Plantation. Oscar
Well, hang
Plantation.
on, hang on. There was a couple other things before that. Um,
Eh.
like Ty actually was able to hurt Killian Dane up and was looking to go for the tiebreaker on like the 340-pound Killian,
Mm-hmm.
which is fuck. That's impressive.
I
It kind of
do.
showed.
I
Hmm?
do like the fact that they're actually using their close to exact weights now instead of going
Hmm.
like old WWE. Killian Dane would have been like 400, 500 pounds.
Well, hang on. I don't think they've actually. Um, I don't think they've ever actually said his build weight. I'm looking it up at this very second. Killian Dane is built at 322.
So you were
Okay.
about right.
Yeah, 340 was a guess.
Yeah, he's
But
six
yeah.
foot four.
Oh, yeah. But still, it was impressive enough for me that Dillinger was able to lift 320-pound Dane on his back with seemingly no struggle. Like, he didn't do that thing where he got him on his shoulders and was like, charging up a finisher in DBZ or something. Like, he just got him up there.
Mm-hmm.
Problem.
Yeah, so Sanity wins. Ty Dillinger gets pinned by Killian Dane, and
yeah,
I'm
Alexander Wolf actually figured into the finish, which was kind of shocking. Like right before he hit the tiebreaker, Alexander Wolf super kick partied the shit out of Ty Dillinger, and then Killian got him up for the All-Star Plantation.
Yeah,
I love that they're actually calling it that. That's cool.
So I want to bring something up. One, Killian Dane was third, the third last to be not entered, to be eliminated from the Andre the Giant battle memorial. So
Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. Just call it the Arm Bar. This is why we do that.
Arm Bar.
But yeah, like he had a very good showing in the Arm Bar.
Yes, he should have, in my opinion, won because the other two are shit.
Oh, don't say that. Mojo
is at best a mid-carder.
Then he should be winning the Arm Bar.
Yes, but by the looks of it, the Arm Bar is the launching pad for the next year of mid-card to maybe main eventer, depending on how they go. I don't see Mojo going to the main event.
Here's the thing: he's got charisma and he's got energy.
He's annoying.
He's fine.
And don't get me started on the fucking interference.
Dude, in terms of celebrity interference, I've seen worse.
Yeah, I've seen worse, but this is the thing. The moment that the Gronk, I feel sick, and saying that made me nearly throw up a bit.
Wow. Rob Gronkowski. Imagine how Calcos feels. He lives in that area where he plays football.
So, here's the thing.
Like he talks about Gronkowski and he's fucking miserable.
I would like it noted, two things. I was a Chargers fan. Then they moved to LA.
And then you stopped. Good call.
And then I became a Bears fan.
Hey, all right, Bears fan too. All right,
Bears.
I can party with you.
I'm mainly doing that because I'm slowly integrating all my sports teams into Chicago.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everything but the Blackhawks.
We won the World Series. We won the World Series. I don't know if you know that.
I'm a White Sox fan. Fuck you.
Oh, poor guy. You remember that time where Corey Graves was talking about, or was comparing Enzo and Cass to the Cubs and White Sox?
Yes, that made me happy.
It was the funniest put down I've ever seen. He said, Big Cass is like the Cubs. It'll take 100 years, but he might win a title. Enzo's like the White Sox. If they ever win a World Series, or if they ever win a title, you can bet there's a shitload of controversy around it.
Mm. And they'll never, and they will never stop talking about it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anyway,
I don't care. One last thing before we move on to the next match.
Yeah.
What's next for Sanity? Because Dillinger is on the main card now, which pisses me off, but good for him.
That pisses me off from a story standpoint on NXT, but from a story point on SmackDown, you can shut the fuck up. I wanted him on Raw.
Well, you still got the superstar shakeup. Give it. You've got the superstar shakeup. Give it time.
I highly doubt.
I still think he'll be on SmackDown.
I highly doubt anyone who debuted this week is going to move. They could do it to one of them as a big shocking moment, but I doubt it's going to be something like if any of them, it's going to be the Revival going to SmackDown.
They might.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Anyway,
think Sanity's going to start feuding with Cassius now because he's gotten himself into the thing, and
like
they've still got
Cassius
a
is going to be
14.
the new default leader of the resistance against Sanity.
Yeah, and it's still a four-person team. It's just Ono, Strong, Jose, and Riot. So
Mm.
it still works.
And
But
gives
they brought Cassius
like
in at the right time.
as Jose comes back, he's gonna like. I think he needs to be more aggressive.
Oh, he will. Like
Mm.
they freaking took out his leg. You can bet. Like
Like Eric
like
Young and
No Way Jose is one of those guys where you could imagine him getting super like
pissed.
violently angry, and it's gonna be great.
So second match we get
Second match.
the technically it's the return of Tommy End.
Kinda. He popped up in the what British
Yeah,
tournament?
British tournament as
Yeah,
a
but
special match.
this is the
Official.
debut of Aleister Black.
And I love the tagline he had there's no there's good, there's evil, and then somewhere in between there's Alistair Black. I love
He's not a
that.
good he's not a good guy. Not a bad guy.
But he will be the guy once hits the main roster.
He's a guy. He's a guy in the middle.
Uh,
But yeah,
I'm
like
sorry.
everything about Aleister Black is so fucking money. Like
He's tattooed like because those are his actual tattoos. He
Oh yeah, of course.
is like I've noticed something with WWE, and I'm loving this because this is a good thing. They're writing the people who they're hiring, the people who are getting like the main event spots and such, are incredibly good wrestlers. One, and two, the stories are getting just that little bit more edgy, the good kind of edgy.
Yeah, not Al the Edge,
Yeah.
like Toon Critic kind of edgy.
Yes, I was going to say him, but
It's okay. You can always talk. Like whenever bad edgy gets brought up, you can always bring up Toon Critic.
yes.
Laugh.
Um.
Hey, do you know what's edgy? Toon Critic.
Yes.
Start 40 quarters.
So basically, what I'm saying is, I have a feeling that we're getting a renaissance of wrestling.
Yeah, like this is kind of an interesting period because like I think it was you who mentioned this. Like, there's a lot of characters who are getting way darker. Like, it's not just Aleister
Yeah,
Black.
it's like
You've got guys like the authors.
Sanity.
You've got Sanity.
Bray
Asuka.
Wyatt is getting more darker. Asuka's is more of a I'm a badass. I know it now, and I know it. What I
Ember
haven't.
Moon could turn into a fucking werewolf at any time.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is she a werewolf or is she a vampire? I do not know.
Don't know. I don't think they know yet.
See, that's the thing. I would say, like, either way, it would make no sense if she was like, if she was a werewolf, if her move was the eclipse.
Yeah, yeah. Werewolf would fit.
Like,
Yeah, I'll fit them.
yeah, like, well, vampires can only come out at night, so
It works for both.
it works for both. But I just want an answer.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we'll find out
Alistair
later.
Black, Cien Almas, Cien. God,
Andrade.
I feel sorry for him because every time someone debuts against him, he loses.
Yeah, but they brought up something very interesting on the NXT afterward, and I feel like we can get to that right now.
Yeah, it makes
They
sense.
showed-
Yeah.
They showed an Instagram post of him partying afterwards, and I feel like that they're starting to lead in this direction, where like this is going to be a major point for him. Like he's more interested in the nightlife than like picking up big wins, and I think that's going to lead to an interesting like conflict for Almas. Like, we'll see how that goes in the future, but like,
You know what I think is going to happen? I think he'll lose a couple more matches, then William Regal's going to say, if you lose your. From now on, for the next, like, set amount of time, if you lose a match, you're fired and you leave NXT for the rest of the thing. This makes him get serious.
How much?
He
How much were you about to say TNA?
I want people to leave TNA, okay? I want that thing to die us. I want that thing to die a death because multiple reasons.
Fuck that owl.
Fuck that owl, indeed. Also, by the way, I love the fact that they let them chant that on at WrestleMania.
What were they gonna do? Stop them?
They could have muted the
Can't mute
crowd.
that crowd. You can't mute a WrestleMania crowd. That's like 70 fucking thousand people.
I know.
Anyway, Aleister Black. Like this. Okay, my favorite part of this match. Go ahead.
Let me finish up my last thing. So I think basically he's going to get that addendum from William Regal. He's going to start winning match after match after match because he's gone, okay, fuck the nightlife. I need to keep my job. Hub. He and then the last match before or that time period ends, and he loses, but then he's moved up. That's how he moves up to the main roster.
Right.
And then he becomes a decent mid-card wrestler who maybe makes a main event appearance.
It's been kind of rumored that Almas might be making the jump during the Superstar shakeup. That might also happen.
I could see Killian Dane moving up, honestly.
Maybe, but
with his appearance at the armbar, I see that as them going, okay, let's see their reaction to this guy.
Yeah, maybe.
Also, that way, imagine him joining Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
So, my favorite part of this match was when
the entrance.
The entrance was sweet, but
I loved that entrance. So much
great
golf.
Entrance. Like he looked like fucking Nosferatu coming up from that coming up. That was sweet.
Yeah,
but during the match he did this thing, like everybody does the thing where like they're gonna do a suicide dive, the guy on the outside runs out of the way, and then they do a thing to stay in the rope or stay in the ring and they bounce off the ropes or something.
Yeah.
Aleister Black just fucking double stomps on the middle rope and just shoots high into the air and lands on the ground cross-legged, like just seated, and it's just like, fuck, you're cool.
Fuck, that was cool, and fuck, that must have hurt like hell.
Everybody stop trying to be cool. You're not going to be as cool as this guy.
Yeah, like,
holy
how much
shit.
does... question. I need to know this answer. Tommy End, how much does he...
I think in like 200 and... like
205.
Oh, damn.
Well, if you wanted to, you could put him there and just have him rule the 205 landscape for a year and just say, fuck you, I'm the best in the world, you can't beat me. And then he drops the title. And then
the rematch between Neville and Tommy.
Oh, they could build to that so well. But I want him challenging for the main roster because he's so fucking good. That's the problem. But you need to build up that 205 roster because it is its own roster.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like that you can use the 205 as kind of like a graduating point. Like after Neville holds the title. For the next 6 months, like I fucking predicted. He's going to like win drop the title to someone and then go win a major title.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Give the cruiserweights their own like mini pay-per-view.
Sure.
Whoever and yes, this is taking a page out of TNA's book. Whoever holds the cruiserweight title at that time, at the end of that show, who can hand the title over and challenge for a main title, like a main roster title. Doesn't have to be the WWE or Universal Championship, but it can.
Although, why would you not ever do that?
Because it might be like it is now, being held by someone like Brock Lesnar, and you can go. Because then the smart thing is not to fight Brock Lesnar and get your ass kicked.
Alright.
Anyway, this match was amazing, and it's because we've got two of the that's the other thing I've noticed about WWE. They're hiring stiff as fuck guys.
This is getting to the point where like the lines between uh
Indie
like
and
perform well, not just that, but just like performing as a like just an in-ring performer and just a straight up fighter is starting to blur because these
yeah.
guys are just straight up beating the fuck out of one another.
So,
Someone tell these guys that it's choreographed. All right,
um,
so the ending of the match was getting back to point. Ending of the match was so Almas is dead on the floor,
I love
and
this.
Aleister Black picks him up with his foot on like underneath his neck and just lifts him up slowly, and then roundhouse kicks the fuck out of his head.
I feel
He
sorry.
calls it the Black Mast.
Black Mass.
No, mast.
Really?
Yeah, like a pirate thing.
Let me check.
I am next to certain about this. I am looking this up also. I am wrong.
Mass.
Shit.
I was right.
Mass. Black Mass. I thought it was like a pirate thing.
Nope.
Oh well. But either way, so
You
it's a
know
fucking
what?
roundhouse kick to the head.
There is. I do hope he takes some of his other moves.
Yeah.
From like when he was Tommy End and such.
Buster.
Hell, I want him to use the Dragon Sleeper on SmackDown while looking straight at Daniel Bryan. Because he has this modified Dragon Sleeper called the Dragon Slayer. Daniel Bryan, as if you're a mark, not a mark, a smark, like all of us, you know his former name was the American Dragon.
Yep.
Yes. Anyway.
Alright, so next match, holy fuck.
Holy fuck, this match was good, and holy fuck, the offers looked strong.
So it's the triple threat elimination tag team match for the NXT tag titles. Authors of Pain, DIY, and the Revival. My God. Match of the night, match of the weekend, maybe match of the year. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like, in my opinion, it's very hard to pick a match of the night from this show because there was, the last three matches were so good.
Yes, but this match was something special. Like, this match had such a great story going
Amazing
all the
story.
way through it. Because early on in the match, DIY realized we're not beating these fuckers on our own. Because they're fucking Goliath. And we are a bunch of tiny little Davids. So we're going to have to team up. And I fucking hate that I have to do that because I hate you guys. I hate both of y'all. But we're got to do it anyway.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say something. This match, in the immortal words of commentators all over the world talking about Nick and Matt Jackson, this is a spot fest, and I love it.
Oh yeah, it was a spot fest, but it still told a fucking great story.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't just a spot fest where it was just like we're gonna go from one spot to another, and there's no real cohesion to it. This was fucking sweet.
What was the first like big spot, apart from the like starting point where it was like both teams just look at the Authors of Pain and go, okay, let's attack them.
I want to say it was the powerbomb through the table.
I was thinking that too, because
So Akam, I believe. If I get the authors wrong, don't get all.
it's not like they have their name printed on the front of their wrestling attire.
Only for their entrance.
No, they
Shut
keep that.
up.
Did they keep that on?
Yeah, like as soon as they get into the ring, they get into like the black tank tops.
Oh,
or
yeah.
not tank tops, like white beaters.
You know what they could do? They could have a belt that has just Akam on it. If you
Like,
have played
I'm getting a little better at like figuring out the differences. Between
I'm not
the two,
going to
but I'm
figure
still
them out.
very
I still
frustrated.
can't figure out the difference between Jimmy and Jay.
Yeah, that's tough.
The thing is, though, Jimmy and Jay are brothers. Akam and Razor aren't.
I don't even think they're from the same country.
They're not. They look so similar. I feel so racist saying that.
They both just look like mountains. It's like trying to tell Mount Rainier from Mount Everest apart.
Wow.
Anyway, after that weird reference, so the powerbomb through the table spot was really fun. It was like so Aiken was on the apron, and Tommaso,
was it?
I think it was Tommaso, tries to like do the sunset flip powerbomb through the table, and he's having fucking none of it.
I thought it was Johnny.
It might have been Johnny. Either way, the other DIY member comes over. He's trying to powerbomb him through, and Akam's holding on to the rope for dear life. And then finally in the ring is the Revival, and they fucking drop kick him.
No, they double clothesline him.
Or double clothesline him. Whatever! He lets go and goes crashing through the table, and it's fucking sick. And then at this point, it's just Razor versus all four of these guys.
At this point is when I knew they were winning, because this would have been a really easy way to have them eliminated and give the title to one of the DIY or the Revival, because because it makes them still look really strong, because it took putting one of them through a table and 4 versus 1 to beat up the guy in the ring and get the pin. But
and he still wasn't able to get the pin or the submission, because they had Scott Dawson put in the inverted figure 4 that made Johnny tap out in Brooklyn.
And then what is it called?
Before the Gargano escape?
Yeah, that's it.
So Gargano looks at Dawson, and he wants to punch Scott Dawson in the face so fucking hard.
And everyone's just going, like, no! I love the fact that
he puts in the Gargano escape.
I love the fact that also, like, both of the Revival guys are like, don't do it, and then Ciampa also goes, no, don't. And then he goes, okay, and puts in the.
And all the while, Ellering's going, do it. He was so antagonizing those guys the whole match. It was just like, beat each other up.
Which they eventually did, but not before doing something beautiful. Whoa.
Oh yes, the finishers.
So I don't remember who it was, but basically
it was Dawson and Gargano.
Yeah, Dawson and Gargano proceeded to hit. What is it called for them? For DIY?
I call it the Meltzer sandwich. I don't think it has a real. But
let us
super
check.
kick knee strike.
It's
just it's the super kick knee strike combination.
It is called meeting in the middle.
That's.
I am not kidding you.
It could be better. But I'm calling it the Meltzer sandwich. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So do that, and then the other author gets back in the ring, and Dash Wilder and Ciampa hit a fucking shatter machine.
Now we all agree DIY needs to come up in the Superstar Shuffle, correct?
Correct.
I don't care where they go, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, but I think it should be SmackDown, because SmackDown needs a good face team.
Yeah, especially with the Usos as champs. Sure. That works. But, yeah.
And the Usos are pretty much, and this annoys me, the Revival, but less cool.
The Revival, but more hood, which is unnecessary.
Yeah, they are the I'm going to make a very racist statement, but they're the more ghetto. They are the ghetto Revival, and the Revival are the redneck Revival.
Say yeah.
I know. So we may or may not have both marked out when that music hit on Raw.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, during the match, so after the two teams just cannot get along, they get to fighting with each other. Um, what's his face? One of the authors tags himself into Scott's Austin,
Forcibly.
fucking decks him, and they take out Champa with the last chapter. So now it's just the revival versus or the revival versus the authors. Crowds being like, fuck.
And that was at 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And then for the next 4 minutes, it's just
Not even 4.
or barely, yeah, not even 4. It's revival basically getting squashed. So like that was the whole message of the match. It took two of the best tag teams in the world to hang with the authors, not pin them, just survive against them. And as soon as it gets to a one-on-one setting, again, one of the teams being one of the best tag teams in the world, they still got fucking destroyed by the authors.
Mm-hmm. So,
Holy shit.
here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any team on the roster at the moment that could beat them?
Heavy Machinery.
Maybe.
The Bollywood Boys.
Fuck no, they're squash material. They've already been squashed by them. Now,
I don't know. They'll come up with somebody.
I could say Sanity in Shenanigans.
Oh yeah, because they do have that one advantage. Because like the authors do have a bit of a numbers game with Ellering, but Sanity has an even more of a numbers game.
Yeah, because they got Eric Young and Nicky Cross, and I want to see Nicky Cross drop Ellering now.
Yeah, that could work. Is Ellering capable of taking a bump? Because he's old as fuck.
Well, he can do an old man bump.
Maybe.
Mm.
Like just do that thing that Nicky Cross likes to do and choke him out.
Yeah, like choke him out and he slowly goes down, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where
anyway,
it's not really a
authors
bump,
win.
but it's
Authors win. They're fucking scary.
They're fucking scary, and this is probably the best tag match we've seen in all year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we had a match with the Young Bucks versus the Hardys in a ladder match, and the Hardys and a bunch of other Raw tag teams in a ladder match in the same fucking weekend.
This one's still better.
Yes.
So then, next match, and I really like this: Asuka versus Ember Moon.
It was so good.
So you were talking about how NXT is really upping their stiff wrestlers quota, and I feel like if you're gonna really bring out the best in a stiff wrestler, you kind of have to be a stiff wrestler yourself, because like. So I'm gonna rely on you, Mr. New Japan, Captain fucking New Japan.
There was a wrestler named Captain New Japan, by the way.
But oh yeah, I know there's a Captain New Japan. Like that was my really bad impression of Finn Balor saying Captain fucking New Japan.
Please don't do an Irish accent. You suck at it.
Oh, I suck at it. That means I'm gonna be doing it more.
At least you're on SmackDown and not Raw.
You better hope Sheamus and Cesaro don't come over in the draft. So, Captain New Japan, tell me.
Yes.
When they have that tournament going on right now, right?
Which one?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. Is there a tournament going on that had a match between Tomohiro Ishii and Shibata?
That was the New Japan Cup, which gets a title shot, I believe, at Genesis, which is coming up.
Yes, but
I think it's... Wait a minute, what day is Genesis? I need to remember this, because I'm watching that shit, and I want to make sure I don't miss out on it.
My point being, I remember that being a first round match, and whenever the brackets got released for that, like people were like, "Oh my fucking god, Ishii and Shibata in the first round, those two are gonna fucking die."
Yeah.
And I bet that was a fucking good match.
Oh, it was. There was a lot of good Okay, so that's on. Okay, that's on this Sunday.
This Sunday?
Oh no, this Saturday. So
Oh, fuck.
tomorrow.
Good thing I said something. So, yeah, my point stands.
Oh no,
Like,
wait, that's the contract signings and such. Yeah, it's on Sunday.
my point being, like, stiff guys bring out the best of other stiff guys. And that was the case here in this match because there really aren't a ton of stiff workers in NXT in their female division.
Well, the female
And
division is weak as is,
yeah,
which
but
is what
like,
I think they're using the 32 woman tournament to do. To go, okay, which one of these can we use to build up the NXT women's division? Because Asuka has to move up.
yeah, yeah, at some point. But like the match is this match was the stiffest women's match I may have ever seen.
I
And
the only stiffer matches I have seen from a woman.
besides like Joshi shit, besides like Io Shirai and Kairi Hojo, that kind of thing, like in
And
WWE.
basically, yeah, it is the stiffest women's match I have seen in WWE. The only stiffer stuff I've seen is on the indies, and then that's usually like because the indies they're more willing to go. Let's have a women's match with steel chairs and shit.
Yeah. But anyway, the match was so fucking good. And like
And another
the
candidate for match of the year.
yeah, yeah. Like there basically the whole story of the match was Ember Moon was as good as Asuka. Like she was going shot for shot with her. And Asuka realized that. I'm not going to say she was getting dominated, but she had found her peer, I guess. And she was about to get hit with the Eclipse, but she pushed the referee into the ropes. The ref hit the ropes. Ember Moon fell over. Asuka kicked her in the head, and that was it.
The way I see it is Ember Moon, who is never going on NXT, isn't going to beat her. Ember Moon is going to what Asuka's going to do is I have this feeling she's going to because of her new she's clearly a heel now. Especially if you watch
She's
her.
at least heading that way.
No, if you watch her interview after the match, she is so much a heel. She is the cocky, I am the best in the world heel now. I have a feeling that she is going to win one of the women division titles, SmackDown or Raw. I do not care which. And what she is going to do is say, like, she's going to return to NXT and say, hey, girls, I don't need this anymore, and just drop the NXT belt and say, hey, come and fight for it, because you can't beat me.
See, I think that would be a mistake. I really do think, even if she doesn't take the pin, I think someone needs to go into a match with Asuka and come out with the belt, even if they pin someone else in the match. Because
wait, hear me out. So, basically, what Asuka does is there's two tournaments. One is solely NXT girls fighting for a spot for the title. Not the title itself, but a spot in the match for it.
For a title shot, basically.
Yeah, basically for a title shot. Right. Then you give the winner of the 32-woman tournament the other spot.
So you're setting up for a triple threat.
No, Asuka drops the title because it's already been pre-established that if someone is holding the NXT belt and they win a main roster belt, they have to drop the NXT belt. I call it the Page rule.
I do not, because what we have here is the opportunity for the biggest rub in the women's division possibly ever. You have a woman who has matched Goldberg's streak, like
Beaten
Goldberg's
it.
real streak, or his real streak. So the person who gets the title off of her, even if they don't actually pin her, because we've already seen Asuka can go into multi-person matches and still be the favorite. If somebody goes into that kind of match and outsmarts Asuka and takes the title, that is a monumental rub.
Eh.
And they should not ever waste that.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be better to have her go undefeated, like never, like not even in a triple threat match, up until the point, ain't you have her
They
face.
can say that they can say she's unpinned or unsubmitted. They can find ways around that.
Let me finish. So, Ember Moon is clearly going to be the person who beats her. That is the story here. Ember Moon eventually beats Asuka, gets the belt. But here's the thing. What if that's not in NXT?
It's on the main roster with one of the main card titles. I get that. I really do. But I just don't think that that's a rub that you should be wasting. I just don't.
See, is it a bigger rub that's the thing. Do they want to give a rub to someone else, or do they want to give a rub to Asuka? Because Asuka's saying that she can't be beaten and has a main roster title now, is a big rub to Asuka. They've done that before with Paige, so I don't see it. I see that being a possibility because Asuka is better than Paige.
I just see it differently.
Anyway, we have talked about this match a lot.
Yeah,
especially since it's only.
Let's go to the next.
Let's
go to the next match. We're not going to change each other. This one.
Yeah.
All right. So next match.
So Bobby Roode is beautiful, and Shinsuke Nakamura should be in the main event scene already, or the Intercontinental scene.
No, you were right the first time.
No, either one. Either give him
the title.
Yeah, give him a title. The reason I say give him the Intercontinental title is give him the Intercontinental title and have him hold it for a year.
He can do that. Also, win the title.
Yeah, but
give him everything. Give him every title.
Yeah, he'll eventually get give him the main. He'll eventually get the WWE title. But what I say for his first year is he wins the Intercontinental title and then says, "Come at me," and then basically fights off everyone for up until WrestleMania season, where AJ Styles comes along. And oh my god, everyone would love that. That would be a 5-star match. You know it would be.
It's been 5-star match once before, right?
Yes, once again for an Intercontinental title.
Yeah. So, but anyway, this match. I'm
so happy.
I'm not gonna lie. This was the weakest of the 3 title matches.
Yes, but that's like saying that. That is like saying that, like. I can't think of an analogy because it's like, okay, do you want chocolate? Do you want cake? Do you want pie? Or do you want I
don't care what your last answer is. The correct answer is pie.
Or do you want...
Like, cake is good on the top, but it's filled with boring shit in the middle.
You haven't had good Australian... You haven't had good cake, then.
I've had good cake before, and even good cake has just kind of bland stuff in the middle.
No, you haven't
had... The frosting is the good part, and the rest of it is just there.
It's
there to hold the frosting up.
Nope, you clearly haven't had good cake, then.
Stop telling me I haven't had good cake. I've had good cake, and the best part of cake is the frosting.
That is
We are
not
not going to.
true. We are going to have this conversation, my good man, now. Cake
This.
is really good if you know how to make it good. Good. And you don't need that much frosting.
You know I'm right.
No, you're wrong. Because all pie is crust with fruit and maybe some cinnamon and sugar.
Yeah, but the fruit tastes so good with the filling and shit, and it's like, yeah.
Anyway, this match was also really good.
No, let's talk more about pies versus cakes. It's what the people want.
Okay, I need to know something. What's your favorite kind of pie?
Blueberry.
Fuck you, apple.
Apple is also good.
A nice hot apple pie.
Apple pie. It's.
And then there's everyone going. I don't know why, but this show almost always derails at the main event.
Always. But yeah, like, either way, getting back to my oh so brilliant. Like, I feel like it was a good match.
It
But
was
I
a
feel like
good
everybody's.
match.
I feel like everybody is saying this was amazing.
No, everyone's saying that was really, really good, or using amazing as a pseudonym for, or it was a great match. I don't know why, but it just it was like, it
Yeah,
just felt a bit off.
it told a good story. It's like Nakamura making sure his knee's still good. Uh, like, freaking Bobby's going for the leg. All that good stuff.
Honestly, Bobby beating him pretty much clean is, once again, that whole rub thing. Because Nakamura is now on the main roster, he's on SmackDown, and he isn't coming back ever.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Especially seeing as how it basically took a super finisher to pin him.
Yeah.
Like basically, like Bobby at the very end, Bobby Roode hurt Naka up to the second rope, jumps off the second rope, and does it basically a tilt-a-whirl glorious DDT. Which, okay, tangent. We never do those. I know, but I was playing WWE, or I was playing SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 recently,
Yeah.
and I realized the glorious DDT is basically just the educutor.
Yeah, the execution.
The execution. It is the same move. Like, I did not realize that until like less than a week ago. It was just like, oh, fuck.
Quick note. Throughout this show, we learned one thing. Drew Galloway's back.
Is not Galloway anymore. Like, whenever people come back to WWE,
Shut
they
up,
go by their original name.
Shut up, he's Galloway.
It's McIntyre. You're gonna have to learn how to say McIntyre right.
No, I will be I will be the indie mark as long as I can. He's Galloway.
Oh yes, you're the guy who still calls him Kevin Steen.
Well, no, Kevin Steen's a bad name. Kevin Owens is a good name. Galloway
So
is better.
McIntyre.
No, Galloway is better than McIntyre.
They're both good, so I feel like McIntyre is worth saying McIntyre.
I'm totally not looking up NXT results.
Like, you are stalling really badly. Like, okay,
I wasn't ready for this.
Bobby Roode beat Nakamura. Let's talk about NXT, the episode. What'd you think of that first match?
Okay. So...
I gotta pull it up anyway. Okay, I pulled it. I always have this shit on standby.
Aaliyah versus Peyton Royce.
Aaliyah versus Peyton Royce. Peyton Royce no longer looks like a gay plant. I think that's great. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot to say, because as you have noted, this was kind of a nothing match. In fact, there really wasn't a lot to this episode. Like, the matches were short and inconsequential,
Heavy
and
Machinery squashes the Bollywood Boys. I feel sorry for the Bollywood Boys.
we'll get to that. Hang on, there's a couple other things I want to say about this match. Royce versus Aaliyah.
Okay.
Billy Kay isn't selling that devastating neck injury anymore.
Yeah.
Like, they just dropped that in a hurry, and I feel like that's going to end up being a talking point later with William Regal. They're going to come up to her and be like, "Hi, we were wondering if you found that eclipse, crikey." And do Australians actually say crikey?
No, we don't. We say it out of jest to make fun of you guys.
Dude, blame Steve Irwin. Although don't, because the man is faultless.
Yes,
Forever.
I blame you.
But anyway, so after that, William Regal will be like, "Oh, you seem to have
Your English accent is just as bad.
shut up. You seem to have recovered quite well." Yes. And then they walk away in a huff, and William Regal's like, crikey.
Anyway, Heavy Machinery
I'm the
versus
Steve
Bollywood
here
Boys.
of this group, and you're the And Larson who puts up with me.
I know, and it's hard sometimes. So, Heavy Machinery Bollywood Boys. God, this match was stiff, and God, did the Bollywood Boys suck.
Why are they heel now?
Because they're trying to see if the Bollywood Boys are actually salvageable, but they're not
Bad
that
news.
good. As an Englishman said, I've got some bad news. Bollywood Boys, you're gonna get fired unless you.
Yeah, like the Heavy Machinery, Heavy Machinery really didn't bring much new to the table either. Like, it was basically most of the same spots from the match last week.
Yeah.
Like, they did the head smash. They did Tucker Knight's superhuman hip toss.
I do like the finish though. That
was new.
double splash.
Yeah. So basically, Otis is holding up Harv Seer, and
In a
Tucker
bear hug.
bounces off in a bear hug. Well, no, not in a bear hug. In a slam
crossbody
position. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a slam position. And Tucker bounces off the ropes and jumps onto Otis's back, and they both splash Harv together. My fucking god. Like, Harv Sira, I believe, clocked in at about 150 something pounds during the Cruiserweight Classic. These two dudes combined are 650.
Yeah.
How is Harv not dead?
I don't know.
Also, I maintain the fact that Gurv Sira still kind of looks like Bobby.
Bobby.
I mean that in the best possible way, Bobby.
Sorry, Bobby. At least you're not editing this.
Yeah. Anyway, fucking ouch, and the pin goes to Heavy Machine.
Yeah, this match was really quick, so.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get my
after that
favorite match.
Well, before that, there was a quick little interview with Oni Lorcan, who, like, he's decent on the mic, and he sounds like the most dude in the world.
He is.
Like, this dude, he could be the next Ty Dillinger.
Mm-hmm.
If they play their cards right.
He's already semi-over. I like him. I like his music.
The crowd likes him, at least the NXT home crowd likes him. They did not like him tonight, sadly.
Yeah, that's because of extenuating circumstances, though.
Yes. So, the main event for the night is built all throughout the episode as Oni Lorcan versus a mystery opponent.
Drifter.
And he has no idea who it is, and they keep building it up. Oni's walking to the ring with... Oni Lorcan has the longest stride I've ever seen.
He's a long-legged guy.
Yeah, it feels like he's trying to get to the ring as fast as possible, because any time spent doing your entrance is time that could be spent punching people in the face.
Yes. Yes.
And I like that about his character. So the mystery opponent is revealed, and it's a guy named El Vagabundo. And he's carrying a guitar.
Totally not the Drifter.
And he's carrying a guitar to the ring. He's got lots of scarves, and he looks really familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. He's just something about him.
Anyone who wasn't a fool could realize who it is.
Anyway,
I've got a really sore throat, guys.
I'm
sorry.
I can figure it out.
I'm sorry, guys. I've got a really sore throat. This cold I'm getting is terrible.
Yeah, you might want to get a Drifter for that. Or, I mean, a Ricola. Shit! So, crowd is into him. Like, crowd fucking love.
I know.
Like, they were... Like, he gets on the mic and he's like, I'm El Vagabundo and I've got a song to play. Who wants to hear it? And the crowd's like, see. And he's... God bless the guy for trying to get heel heat back by basically singing a song telling the crowd to shut up.
Yeah.
Crowd's having none of it.
The
Like,
crowd
they love
love
the
him.
Vagabundo.
That's the
Crowd
thing.
loves El Vagabundo.
Vagabundo is more over than the Drifter ever will be.
Ever. Fucking ever. Like, he needs to come up to the main roster as El Vagabundo, and Corey Graves can be like, I don't like this guy, and I don't know why.
Yeah, and then he's like, then then maybe at a at a pre-show for a pay-per-view, he's in a match and he loses his mask, and Corey goes, "That's why."
No! We basically have written like 100 different ways Drifter to annoy Corey Graves at this point.
Yeah, that literally that is what you do with him. If you want to make
That's
some
his
money,
character.
yeah, if you want to make some money off him, have him and Corey Graves be like, even if it's like he loses a lot of his matches and such. Maybe give him like one shirt. That's enough reason to put him on the main roster for a little while, then maybe drop him in a year or two.
Yeah, like, the weird thing though is you don't want commentary to get too hard on the guy, because do you remember what happened to the Ascension?
Yeah, but
JBL called them shitheads for weeks and they haven't recovered, and it's been like 3 years.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being hard on them, and then there's a difference between being hard on them and it being a character thing.
Well, JBL's character is that he is kind of a fucking ass.
Yeah, but that's JBL.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say about the best characters.
Yeah.
So, anyway, during the match,
I love
oh, by the way, if you think my Irish accent and my English accent is bad, you have not heard anything until you've heard Nigel McGuinness's fucking Spanish.
I know.
That is fucking awful. And it's
I think
charming.
I think he made one mistake, one slight mistake, and then he ran with it.
Ay, Dios mío.
Adios mio. I think that's oh my god.
Yeah. So throughout the whole match, Vagabundo keeps having to adjust his mask and like keep it from falling off.
Yeah, because it doesn't go all the way around. It doesn't strap together.
Yeah, he doesn't have like a chin strap or like really. It doesn't look tight in the back. It's just holding on to the top of his head.
Yeah,
it's resting. And so Vagabundo's controlling the match for the first 2/3. And then Oney Lorcan just launches into a fucking airstrike of corner shoulder barges,
which looked lovely.
And I think he needs to slow that down.
I don't think so. I think that's perfectly fine.
He did 8 of them.
Yeah,
in a row.
Haven't you heard of Clotheslines Forever?
Okay, so in last week's episode against Almas, he did 5 in a row, and I thought, okay, that's the top end of what we need to be seeing.
No.
Like he did 8 of them to freaking Vagabundo
This
guy,
is an
and the crowd and the crowd by the end was just kind of like,
this is an indie thing. Basically, um, Roppongi Vice have been known to do it. It's very prevalent in tag team matches. You get one tag team person in one corner and the other in the opposite corner, and then you just clothesline back and forth, back and forth, back and forth a lot of times. This is the same thing, just with one person.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
But at the same time, the crowd just was getting really like tired of it by the end. It seemed like.
I
So
also
like,
think that I also think this might have been done after NXT Takeover proper.
I don't know. I feel like it was before.
I don't know.
Maybe. Well, maybe this was like maybe they did the first two matches beforehand, and they did this match afterwards as kind of a dark match, send them home happy kind of thing.
Yeah. Either
Either way,
way, the crowd themselves felt flat, and that could be a
yeah.
reason why.
So at the very end, Vagabundo tries to pick him up for like what looks like a kind of an overhead suplex or something like that, and Lorcan grabs the mask and unmasks him, and fucking shock of all shockers,
it's the
fucking
Drifter.
it's the fucking Drifter, and Lorcan hits the blockbuster for the pin.
Which looks
Lorcan
lovely.
wins. It looks lovely, but the crowd was just like, "Oh, the Vagabundo didn't win."
And then he left, and he got taken out by a single woman.
Not only a single woman, like this was the woman who tried to keep Gronk from getting into the armbar.
You know what?
Remember that?
I want her. Yes, I do. I instantly recognized her. We need more of her. They need to hire her.
You know what happened? William Regal finally got better security.
Tee.
But yeah, she grabbed fucking Drifter guy and dragged him out by his hair. It was fucking great.
Hair and arm, and
No, it was basically just the hair. Just like, get over here, you hairy bastard.
yeah. And
Geez.
that's NXT.
Yeah.
Oh, we
yeah.
got a few like promo things for
Yeah.
for like a few interviews and such. Nothing consequential. Recapping
Yeah,
of what
like the
Takeover
only interesting one out of it was the AOP interview.
and Oscar.
Asuka was alright. Like she was just basically like nobody can beat Asuka.
Well, that's the thing. She's already beaten everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Who's left?
so like who is left and who is next? And
Who's next?
the only person who is next who she hasn't beaten in a match is Ruby Riott.
And that's not happening.
Not
But anyway,
anytime soon, at least.
Ellering came across as way less crazy, and
Yeah.
I think that was for the best because, like, yeah, like in the last interview, he was talking about these men are like law of the jungle. And it's just like he toned it down a little bit. He didn't come across as a fucking caricature, and that's good, I think. But other than that, short episode, by the way. So there was a lot of filler.
Massive amounts of filler because they only had like 3 matches to do because that's what they do with the takeover after the NXT after a takeover is just from dark matches from the takeover.
And the only other thing that I could think of that they mentioned was that next week we are getting a Drew Gall. Damn it! We're getting a Drew McIntyre thing in the ring.
Yes. We all agree he's probably going to be facing Bobby, right?
Well, yeah, but first he's going to kill Almas, and then
yeah,
that's what everybody coming in has to do.
Everyone has to pin Almas before they can actually be part of the roster.
Yeah, I saw this post on Reddit. Like, if Cesaro was the final boss of NXT, does this make Almas the tutorial?
Yes.
Poor
So
Almas.
this has been NXT Weekly with James the Squirrel and Nicky V. And
Hopefully it's better next week.
We will see you next week, and next week's video might come out a bit later because someone's going to BabsCon.
Yeah, who's that asshole?
Grumble, grumble, grumble. I don't get to go to any conventions.
They don't have any in Aussie land?
They had one,
Hmm.
but even then, what's the point? I only get to go see Anthony C then, and I can just do that. I can just call him up if I wanted.
Well, then that's true, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. So either way, like I'm gonna try and we're gonna try and record around like we're gonna record right before I go. I'm gonna edit right when I get back, and we're gonna try and make it so that the episode doesn't pop up too much later. It'll go up before the next week's episode after that. But yeah, either way.
It'll most likely be up either, if we're lucky, Monday, if not the next day. So you'll have something
Right.
to watch after SmackDown and Raw, or before it.
Yeah, tune into that video for more by us.
Yes, more random shit.
Where we loosely talk about NXT.
Bye.